The passing of the Honorable Cecilia, to many of us it came like a shock because Mama has really been moving. You know, she loved work. Mama has been working hard. We all refer to her as Mama, and the title suits her well. May Mama rest really well because she played her part as a citizen of the country, as a mother, as a wife, but most importantly, as a leader. Many of us, while growing up, we looked on to Cecilia Ogwal as a role model. Growing up as a young girl, I would see Cecilia talk and you would say, yes, this is a woman. And I kept saying, I really want to be like this woman. I'm glad she played a part, she played a role in my life, coming up as a young leader. And when I came to Parliament, she was among the first people who gave me counsel. She told me how to handle myself around Parliament. She took me through balancing work and family. And when I was having my wedding in 2009, Mama was there to speak to me. She told me words of wisdom and told me, Winnie, you should know that you are a leader. Your marriage is equally important. Leave your politics at the gate. Go and be a mother to your children and a wife to your husband. When you are going out to do politics, speak your politics at the gate. So basically, she wanted to tell me that as a leader, you need to learn how to balance between work and family, but at the same time, be consistent. She has been a resilient woman. You can't talk about good governance and democracy without talking about Cecilia. Every time Uganda was at crossroads in terms of shortages in human violations, shortages on human rights, Cecilia would speak loudly. Uganda was, until recently when we went back to multi-party dispensation, but she did not relent on speaking and calling upon the powers that be to get us back on track and talk about democracy. She's among the few Ugandans who remained consistent and calling upon a return to multi-party dispensation. So if we can see ourselves into different political shades, Mama was part of it. When some of us were getting into the reform agenda, Mama was still in UPC, but because the UPC was no longer in existence, we would come here in her compound to discuss about now a new pressure group that was talking about a return to multi-party politics, a pressure group that was now reuniting all the other opposition people who were now in disarray. So she has been an icon of democracy. To us in the women's movement, Mama is a role model to many of us, the women, upcoming leaders, many women in leadership. Cecilia has held each one of us. In Parliament, every time we came at a standstill, we all looked on to the voice of Cecilia. What is Mama going to say? Mama was a team builder. She was a peacemaker. And I remember one time we were going to Hungary together to represent the country. When we reached Hungary, when we were ready to go for the conference, then she sat me down and told me, Mama, I know you are a young girl who is an activist. I want to tell you that when you get into these conferences, we are Ugandans first. Let the flag of Uganda be raised high. In conferences, you speak about things that matter to the country, not our internal bickerings. We shall tackle museveni when we reach Entebbe after we have left here. And I took it that she loved her country above self. So we lose a woman of substance, we lose a Ugandan, we lose an African, we lose a global leader. In Cecilia, we had a unifier, we had a democrat, we had a leader, we had a mother, but also something unique about Cecilia is that she blended her politics with Christianity. She wouldn't speak much without referring to what the Bible says. The Bible orders us to do this. We are here creatures made in the image of God. And therefore, if we are made in the image of God, we need to be fair. She believed in justice. She believed in freedom. So really, as a country, we have lost a stateswoman, a woman of all shades. She respected people in their different categories. Young and old, she had a place for everyone. Her office was a home to all of us. Her home has been a home to many of us. So we are here really, want to mourn. But at the same time, we want to celebrate a life well lived. Many of our colleagues in the opposition have taken leave because they think they have waited for a long time. Some of us have been learning from Cecilia. But even those who are in government should have learned from Cecilia, because sometimes she would poke them and tell them, you know, you do these things. Some of us who have been in government know how things happen. You should be aware that at some point you'll be in the opposition. So she had the sense of what happens when you are in government and what happens when you are in the opposition. So for her, she knew how to blend in well because she had lived both lives. So at some point, she would even caution us who were in the opposition. Be careful not to treat the people in government badly, because you are working towards going into government. When you get there, they will accuse you of the same. And she would tell us so many experiences of how they were in the UPC government. So really, we celebrate her and we thank God for giving us Cecilia as a gift. But at the same time, we mourn her because we still needed her. We needed her services. We needed her resilience. We needed her parting hands